the head coach of University of Texas football, Steve Sarkisian, back on the program. How are you, Coach Sark?
I'm great, Rich. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
First things first, most important thing, the missus wanted me to say hello to you. Susie sends her best. It's her birthday today, by the way, so just wanted to say
tell her
that
happy birthday. She was covering us at SC. She's 20 years ago, man.
It was
almost 20 years.
Yeah. She used to bring our rescue dog Hudson to practices, Coach. If you remember
That's
that.
Right.
Yep.
That's right.
That's it. So anyway, she sends her best to you, and I'm glad that I will pass right back at you. So practice just began yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? Your training camp's open.
Yeah. Yesterday was day one. We're back out this afternoon.
Okay. What have you gleaned about your team so far in the first 24 hours? Anything? What do you got for me?
Well, I think one of the biggest takeaways from yesterday, I was impressed with our passing game, which has been a point of emphasis of ours coming out of last season. I thought Quinn Ewers really was effective, probably one of his best practices he's had since he's been here with us. Thought the receiving core played well. I know we've all got high expectations and for that group, and I thought they played well. And so, the first couple of days, you're not in pads, so you're hopeful that your passing game is clean and efficient, and that definitely showed up yesterday.
Okay, so everyone, isn't it funny how things work in this world? Everyone's talking about your quarterback's haircut, Coach. Ewers is no longer got a party in the back. Is that correct? If I'm not mistaken, right?
Business everywhere now. Business everywhere.
Okay. I'll ask the question. I don't care if it sounds silly. Does that indicate anything to you? Seriously, like when you say all business, what do you got for me on that front?
Well, I think the biggest thing is this. Perception has been preceding Quinn some. Quinn's a great guy. He's an awesome teammate. He's super coachable. And honestly, I didn't mind the mullet. That was him. That was him just being one of the guys. But inevitably, you have a mullet, you have a beard, and people think you don't take the job serious or something. So I think he's, changing perception, and now people are probably taking him a little bit more seriously, and they're actually getting to know him, and they're finding out, man, he is a great guy. He's a great teammate. He's super coachable. He does awesome stuff in our community. But more so, I think that it signifies he's put in a lot of time and effort here over the last 8 months, and he's changed his body. Obviously, year two in the system, I think he's got a better understanding of what we're doing. He's become a really good leader on our team. If the haircut signifies all that, then maybe I should have all my guys, get the haircut.
Exactly. No, I obviously it would be just a metaphor for something. And how is he, just taking on the leadership role with him being in year two of that, Coach?
Well, I think it's gone well. He a year ago when he got here, he was a transfer. From Ohio State. And so that takes time when you're getting in that locker room, and he was in the midst of a quarterback battle with Hudson Card, which really went all the way into training camp up into the first game. This year now he's been here for over a year. I really feel like he feels, and I feel like that's his locker room. Those guys believe in him. He's much more apt to step up when things aren't going the way they should be going. He's much more apt to motivate. He's much more apt to do things outside of football with his teammates, and that just comes from confidence. That comes from getting to know people. So that side of it, I think, is natural. It always takes a little bit of time, but he's really assumed that role, and I think he's really earned the respect of his teammates and definitely in the locker room.
Well, how many times though do you get asked about Arch Manning though? I mean, when you're going around being Coach Sark.
Pretty much every interview.
Okay. No, I'm talking about going around town. I mean, you know what I mean? And obviously Quinn has got a significant amount of talent, and you have high expectations for him this year. But how does he handle the whole Arch Manning of it all?
He's handled it great. I think one thing that we've really tried to do, and we've tried to do everywhere we've been, is, focus on what you need to be working on and not worrying so much about what the other guy needs to be working on, but yet still be a great teammate for the other guys and support him on the things that we're asking him to work on, because everybody's at a different stage, and we've got a great quarterback room. Obviously, Quinn is we think, an elite player at the position. Malik Murphy is a very talented young man. Arch Manning is a really talented guy, and going into year one with him. So they're all at different stages. They all got their own strengths. They all got some weaknesses that we're working on. But in the end, the rapport in that room, I think, is what's important. Their connectivity, their support for one another. That to me, that room has got such good rapport that it's kind of permeated throughout our locker room. That guys, are working really hard and they're competing, but yet there's a lot of respect for what other guys on the team are doing.
What is your plan for Arch Manning this year, Steve?
Get him to become the best player I can get him to become. And you never know how seasons go with injuries and whatnot. And so I just have to keep preparing him like I'd prepare every other player. If his number's called, that he can go out there and help us win. The goal for his career is that, when that time comes for him ultimately become the starting quarterback here, that he's ready to play, and not just ready to play, but ready to play great football. Nobody wants to go out and be average. So that's what we try to strive to do with all of our guys, especially at the quarterback position.
But you're preparing him to play this year. When you say in case his number is called, do you have any scenarios that you're willing to share on that front?
Well, I hope I have no scenarios. That means our guys didn't get hurt. So the reality of it is focus on being the best player you can be and keep working and keep grinding. And like I said, if your number's called, can you go out there and perform at a high level to help us win? This is Quinn's team. He's our starting quarterback, and knock on wood that there's nothing that would change that. Mm-hmm. That means he's playing good football and he's healthy.
Steve Sarkisian, head coach of Texas football here on the Rich Eisen Show. With all due respect to taking it one game at a time, I'm going to skip over week one, your first opponent, and with all due respect to Louisiana Monroe. Then there's Alabama. I mean, when you've got such a significant opponent and one with whom you have history in week two, how in the world do you get ready for something like that when it's a big first assignment in many ways for a lot of the kids out there?
Well, first, we played Rice, actually, week one. So.
Okay. I had the wrong schedule.
You're not the first one, though. We played Monroe last year. So, but that's, I think, of the utmost importance.
Oh, you're too kind. I hit the wrong button right here. Okay, my bad. But go for it.
When we're in training camp, we've got to focus on the task at hand. And we've got a lot of young players that are going to need that experience in week one to get ready for week two. You never really want to go play in Alabama, and that's your first time jogging out of the tunnel and taking a snap or defending a post route or whatever. So there's going to be a valuable experience out of week one. And then in week two, a great challenge. Obviously, as you know, Rich, I mean, I have the utmost respect for Coach Saban. He did so much for me in my career and my family, and we had some great moments and some great wins together. But in that time, you learn a lot about that program and a lot about the kids in the program and a lot about Coach Saban. And so you prepare for that game and you go into that game with the utmost respect, knowing that we're going to get their best shot because he's going to have them prepared to play. And we have to make sure that they get our best shot and that ultimately we perform. And we thought we played well last year. We came up short. But we look at some things in that game to where, man, shoulda, coulda, woulda. You get in the red area 5 times and you only score 1 touchdown. That's a recipe for losing a ball game. And so we think we can improve, but going to Bryant-Denny Stadium, night game, it's going to be a great environment, and I know we're all looking forward to it.
Okay, so in the few minutes I have left with you here, Steve Sarkisian, 2 people I want your favorite story about. Okay, the first one is Bijan Robinson. What's your favorite Bijan Robinson story? It could be in the locker room, could be on the field, could be in any point in time of your connection with him as he's getting set to be a top 10 running back chosen by the Falcons in this league. What do you got?
So I kept getting asked this question throughout the draft process from all the teams. Is this kid for real? Is this real? I mean, is he really this nice? Is he really this genuine? Is he really this hardworking? Is he really this considerate of his teammates and supportive and all that? I said, I got to be honest with you. I was on the job at Texas in 2021, and I was about on the job for about a month, maybe 2 months, And I called him into my office, and I told all the NFL teams this. I asked him the exact same question straight to his face. I said, "Are you for real? Like, are you this good of a kid every single day of your life?" And he just kind of smirked at me, and he said, "Coach, I just am who I am every day." Like, he is an awesome human being. As good of a football player he is, he's a better person. And so that's the funny story, because it's like sometimes he's too good to be true.
Well, I think the Falcons fans are hoping that this does translate to the NFL, and obviously you'd know about making that leap. What are your 2 cents on that?
Well, I think he fits well in the NFL because he's a really versatile player. You know, he's a guy that can definitely run between the tackles, has great balance and body control, one-cut ability. You know, he can get the ball on the perimeter with his speed and elusiveness and play in space. But he's really good. You know, he's got tremendous hands. He had the best hands on our team the last couple of years, and he's a really good route runner. And so you start combining all of that into the modern-day NFL football. He's a three-down back that can hurt you a variety of ways. He's not one that just has to run between the tackles and can take that pounding. He's a guy that can do a lot of different things, which you see nowadays. You know, there's McCaffrey or Kamara, those types of guys. You know, I think he falls into a similar mold in that style of play.
All right, and then before I let you go, your favorite story involving Texas's Minister of Culture himself, Matthew McConaughey. What do you have for me on that front, Steve Sarkisian?
Well, you know, what was fun last year, he called me the week we were playing OU and said, "Coach, would you mind if I came to the game this weekend?" And I'm thinking, yeah, sure. You know, come on. We'll be up in Dallas, the Cotton Bowl. It's gonna be a heck of an environment. He goes, "No, I kind of want to come to the game with y'all. I want to travel with you guys." So I said, "Yeah, come on, get on the plane with us and fly up." So we sat together. We flew up to the game, and he's right there on the sidelines. And you know, as the game goes, and it was a heck of a win. And sometimes you forget like who's there and what's going on. And we get in the locker room, and we got the golden hat, and we're celebrating. And I turn around, and there's Matthew McConaughey wearing the golden hat, dancing in the locker room with our team. I said, "Holy cow! Okay, we are really in Texas now, baby. We're rolling."
That is the best, man. He is again another guy who he is, right? Just like Bijan,
that's right? Yeah, he's great. He really is great, man. I mean, but that's what makes being at places like this and being at the University of Texas like this special. You know, yesterday we go out for practice one, and I turn around and the guy yells at me and kind of taps me on the shoulder. I turn around and Vince Young's on the sidelines,
hey.
You know, and he's there and only like Vince can. He's running his mouth and he's talking crap to the players, but that's what these places like this have. You know, you have these awesome people that you get to interact with who are super successful on the field, off the field, and I think that's what makes it fun, and that's why it's such an attractive place.
Oh my gosh, as you know, Vince Young is a 4-letter word to USC football fans. You know that, right? I mean,
well, I was on the other sideline.
I bet.
You got to remember.
I bet, right? You were there. What a night that was.
He reminded me of that a few times.
You
know that, and you know who's on staff here with me is Michael Huff.
Look at you. They were both.
Michael Huff.
That's right,
Michael Huff made the tackle on 4th and 2 on Lendell White.
Why wasn't Reggie on the field, Stark? Come on now. Let's just get right into it. Why wasn't Reggie on the field?
Lendell was having a better game. Lendell had a heck of a game that night.
What a game.
You got to remember.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he had a heck of a game, and everyone's acting like, you know, Lendell was, you know, chopped liver. The guy scored 59 touchdowns in 3 years.
What a Rose Bowl that was, Coach.
It was a heck of a game.
Let's go down more memory lane next time I have you on. Thanks for the time here. Let's chat during the season. Appreciate it.
Rich. Thanks, buddy.
All the best. That is Coach Steve Sarkisian right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.